Hey there, it's Andrew, Texador of HomeSmart, and on this episode of All Things Real Estate, I just wanted to talk a bit about the inspection period and what it entails and your responsibility as a buyer. So as a buyer during the inspection period, which starts the day after you go into escrow, okay? So let's just say today is Monday. So if we were to go into escrow, come to an agreement on a contract that is fully executed today, tomorrow would be day one of your inspection period. In Arizona, we have 10 days to do inspections and deliver what's called the buyer's inspection notice and seller's response, otherwise referred to as the BINSR. Okay, and so I'm going to talk about the inspection period first of all, because it's super important that you understand as the buyer, it's all up to you. The onus is on you to discover any and all issues with the property that you are going to request repairs on. So let's just say an inspector goes ahead and says there's a faulty, it appears that there's a faulty GFCI, ground fault control interrupt breaker in the electric panel. Now just know this, an inspector discovers what is in front of them. They do not touch anything. Okay, so if there's a flipped switch or a flipped breaker, they don't even flip the breaker just because that's not their job to do. They will note that it's tripped, but they don't flip it. Okay, so they don't attempt to make any repairs. They just note conditions as they find them. So where maybe an electrician would have just flipped, or I would have just flipped a breaker to see if things work, inspector's not going to do that. Okay, so if the inspector notes, hey, there's a potential problem with a breaker, now you need to maybe get an electrician in there and dive a little deeper. Same thing with an HVAC. If the inspector shoots his thermal gun in and the split differential isn't within the industry norm, the inspector is going to recommend you having a licensed HVAC company take a look and inspect that unit as well. And so all discoveries are up to you as a buyer. And then by the 10th day, end of business, so midnight of the 10th day, you're to deliver your BINSR, your buyer inspection notice and seller's response. So your request for repairs. Now, during this request, we are asking for specific repairs. We don't negotiate a discount in lieu of repairs. That's not how it's done. We've already negotiated the terms of the contract. Now we're just looking for any issues with the home, and then we're asking for those to be repaired. We're not changing the terms of the contract. Okay, and so it's super important that that's very clear, because in a lot of cases, people will go ahead and spend the money on an inspection, and they'll get the inspection report back and wonder what to do next. So it's always prudent to have an HVAC tech come out and take a look at the air handler, if there is one, and the AC, and test and run their own tests, check maybe the freon levels, whatever they might do, right? They're the ones that would do that. Electrician, you might want to have come out, and a plumber, you might want to have come out. In most cases, as a buyer, you're going to get a home warranty that'll cover most major mechanicals, but you just don't want to get into something that has an issue where we can discover these issues up front and get them repaired and rectified before you would take ownership. That's it for this episode of All Things Real Estate Related. I'm Andrew Texador with HomeSmart. I've been helping people make the move with confidence here in the Valley for 20 years. Thanks.